Hello and welcome to my channel, Making Crafts. Today I am participating in the Kendras card challenge number 18, Scrap Diva Hop. And Scrap Diva is a sponsor for Kendras card challenge. And all of the designers in today's hop received surprises from Scrap Diva. And so I'm just showing you the ones that I received. I received 4 different die sets. I received the Diamond mini album. I received the backpack, the butterfly bow, as well as the sun shaker tag. And so for today's cards, I'm going to be using the butterfly bow and the sun shaker tag die set. Now, if you want to see me create with the other dies, be sure to subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell so that you'll be notified each time I upload a video, because I will be coming back and using the other 2 die sets later on, and it won't be part of a hop. So be sure to subscribe so you'll be notified when I do create those videos. So I'm going to start out with the butterfly bows, and I'm just choosing which butterflies. I decided to go with the smallest butterfly. I thought it would fit better on my card. And so I'm just running those through my die cut machine, and I cut those out, and then I've cut the bow out. So for the bow piece, what I want to do is I just want to start training that paper to curl, and I just want to convince it that it wants to curl around without cracking or folding. So I didn't want any wrinkles or anything. I wanted a smooth bow. So I like to use something round. You can use a pencil, an ink pen, or like I do, I like to just use the end of my paintbrush. And so I'm just getting those edges, getting them used to curling over. And then once I get them curled pretty good, I'm going to add a little bit of glue to the center of the bow. Now I'm just using 60-pound cardstock for this bow. It's a little thinner than some of my other cardstock that I use. Typically I use around 110 pound, but this one is a little thinner. So I do want to be gentle with it and be sure to get it to just curl around and not have the wrinkles in it. So I'm just taking my time with it. And so then once you add the glue to the center there, you can see here I'm just using my paintbrush to help hold down the pieces and to continue curling them until everything is glued down. And then I'll take my paintbrush and just hold it in the center and use it to hold those pieces down till they start to stick really well. I have to give the glue a little bit of time to dry. I think you could use double-sided tape there as well. And so once I have my bow put together, I'm just going to add a little glue to the center of my butterfly, and then I'm going to attach the bow to the butterfly. Now I've already layered up my butterfly. I have a layer of light pink paper and then the floral paper as well as the bow. And then I'm just adding a little sparkly enamel dot to the center of the bow. I thought that really added a little bit to the butterfly and bow as well. And I'm creating sketch number 5 for today's cards. I forgot to mention that. So for both cards, I'm using sketch number 5, and I absolutely love this sketch. This is one of my favorite sketches from Kendras card challenge number 18. So I thought it would be fun to create both cards using this sketch today. And they'll both be totally different because I'm creating with totally different papers and focal points. So you can see here, I made a little boo-boo. So the little pink strip that goes across, I put that down as well as the circle and realized, wait a minute, I forgot my larger banner that goes. But the strip that goes across is stuck. So it's going to have to stay in that position, and I'm just going to add the banner on top. Actually, I think it looks good. It's not that big a deal. So I decided not to start over because I kind of like how it looks anyway. So sometimes these things happen. You get to crafting and forget what you're doing, or at least I do. I am so absent-minded. Sometimes I get to crafting and forget what I'm doing and glue the wrong thing down first. So that's okay though. I think it turned out just fine. And now I'm going to add the circle. Thankfully, the circle was easy to remove. It hadn't stuck down good yet, so I was able to remove it to add the banner. So I'm just going to add the circle to the top, and then I'm going to add my little butterfly to the center of that circle. Now I do want to add a sentiment to this one, but I can't decide where to add the sentiment, so I'm going to have to think about that, because I think this would make a wonderful birthday card, and maybe I just put the sentiment on the inside. Maybe it doesn't have to be on the outside. I'll have to decide. Okay, so now let's move on to the next card. So for the next card, I'm going to use the sun shaker tag, and it has a cute little face, two little eyes and a mouth, but they're so small, I knew that I would struggle gluing those on. So what I'm going to do is I'm just taking my little strips of double-sided tape, and I'm going to add it to the back of my cardstock that I'm going to use for the eyes and the mouth. And so I just trimmed the cardstock down to fit pretty much the die and only the die. So I didn't have a lot of extra left over, and it was easy to add this tape. Now, there are sheets of double-sided tape. I think I have some somewhere here, but I couldn't remember where. And I may have used them up. But so I decided just to do it this way. I figured it'll work just the same. So now I have gone ahead and cut out my pieces. And here, this is a piece of fun foam, I think is what you call it. It's just the foam that you find in the craft section for children. So if you go to the children's craft section, there's pom-poms and different things. Well, this is the foam that you see in that section. And so I had some of this in my stash. I like to use it when I'm creating shaker tags, shaker cards, or I need to pop something up like this where the edges are so small that I could not add foam tape. So I decided to just use this foam and cut it out. And I've done that before. I think I've done it on my channel before for some Christmas projects, but typically I'll use just the foam tape if it will fit, but these edges were so small that really the only option was this foam. And so then I added a piece of cardstock to the top of that foam, and now I'm attaching it to the back of the tag. And so the foam will glue on. You can also buy foam that has sticky on the back. I don't have any of that, so I just use glue on the back of mine. And so then I'm just adding the little eyes and mouth. And so it worked perfect just to add my double-sided tape to the back of those. So you can see here I'm not having to add any glue, and those little eyes are fitting just fine and sticking just fine to the center of my tag. And they were really easy to put on since they were already sticky. So today I'm not creating a shaker tag with this. As you can tell, if so, I've already skipped a step. But I'm not going to do that today. Today I'm going to use this as my focal point and do something a little bit different with it. So I thought it would be fun to just use this in a different way. I think it would be easy to create a shaker tag. I think you would, for these little lines, for me, I have trouble getting glue on my plastic. So it would probably be best if you had some sticky back sheets to use instead when you cut this out. But today instead I'm going to add some glue to the sun rays, but only the large ones. So you can see here that there's 2 large rays, 1 small, 2 large, 1 small, all the way around the sun. So what I'm going to do is just fill those up with glue. And you can see I'm putting quite a bit of glue in there, and then I'm sprinkling some of this little tinsel in there. It's kind of an orange goldish color tinsel. I can't remember the color that it says on the package, but I'm just sprinkling that in. And so once I work my way around the entire sun, adding these, then some of it will fall in the smaller rays, but I will clean those out later. But first, I just really want to focus on getting all of these poured in and attached to the glue. Now, in order to get them pressed down into the glue, I'm just using the end of my little pokey tool. I'm just using the back side of that just to press the tinsel down into the glue. And I just want to get them pressed down in there so they don't fall out. And I really wasn't sure. I had never done this before, so I really wasn't sure if it would work. But once it dried, it stays in just fine. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add the tinsel all the way around the sun, and then I will set that aside and let it dry and continue working on my card. So I set it aside and I cut out all the pieces for my card and put my card together while it's drying. So while the sun's drying, I wanted to show you, I'm cutting one of the banners. This card has a lot of banners on it. And so if you want to cut a banner, you just clip right in the center of your piece of cardstock. Now, what I'm finding is easier for me because I really struggle with getting these even. I like to cut from the left to the right. That seems easiest for me. So once I cut the first side, I'm just flipping it over and then cutting the other side left to right. I find that I can cut better. When we first started the Kendras Card Challenge number 18, for some reason I was cutting the left side from left to right, and then on the right side I would cut from right to left, and I would always get it looking wonky. It wasn't even. So making these cards, I realized, why not flip it over and cut it? So something so simple but I hadn't thought about that. So I thought I would mention it just in case you were struggling cutting banners. Maybe it would give you an idea of something to try. So I used the same sketch again, and I've layered everything up, but this time I put all the pieces in the correct place. So this is how the sketch is really supposed to look. And then instead of the circle in the middle, I am using the sun in the middle as my focal point and as the circle. Then I'm adding it all to a blue card base. Well, I had so much fun playing with these products today. I hope that you have enjoyed seeing me create these cards. I did forget to mention about my description. Like all the hops, be sure to hop along to all of the other designers in today's hop. There will be a link in my description to a playlist for this hop. There's also a link for you to enter a giveaway for Kendra's Card Challenge. She is giving away 1 month subscription to her Patreon. And also read through the description. There's so much information about Kendra's Card Challenge, as well as about a link to Scrap Diva. And so be sure to check that out as well. Well, thank you so much for watching, and be sure to hop along to all of the other designers today. And I hope that you have a wonderful weekend, and bye.